We now have a little bit of time for questions and answers. Now, realize there's 773 people online right now, so we probably can't get to all your questions. But I will read the questions in order. Some people have asked multiple questions, so I'm just going to read your first one so everyone has a chance to ask questions. If we have time, I'll get back to your questions. So first question will be from Peggy in Malaysia, and I believe this will go to Chanwan Sinim Judapapsa, because you talked about this opposites thinking in your talk. So the question is, we created something, we created the opposites. So if we created God, we also created Satan or the devil. Is that right?
Yeah, sure. When you created something, there's is opposite thinking. Anything, good, bad, big, small, high, low, these all are opposite thinking. The important things we practice this Zen is to cut off this opposite thinking. When you cut off this opposite thinking, you return to moment mind, then you can see clear. When you see clear, then you can overcome your suffering. You are not attached by all the name and form. So cut off thinking is very important. Yeah, so don't make opposite thinking.
Thank you. Next question from Malik. This will go to Lurch Judapupsanim because you talked about this. What does guest and host actually mean?
Okay, so ultimately, guest and host is another representation of opposite. Particularly when I mentioned it, I was talking about when you go to see a teacher. When you go to see a teacher for a there is a kind of setup. When the teacher rings the bell, you go in and you bow and you sit down in front of the teacher, and perhaps you ask a question. Perhaps the teacher asks you a question. So this setup has already in it a kind of guest and host. And like any situation where we create separation, where we're stuck in opposites thinking, then we can fall into this habit. Are you the guest or are you the host? But always a separation. But my experience has been when both parties are open and receptive, this setup of guest and host can disappear. And it's just one mind then. And then that's when you really meet your teacher. And that's when the teacher really meets their student. In fact, teacher and student also disappear. So I remember hearing this from one of the great teachers in our school, that his first interview with Zen Master Sung San, the thing he remembered most about it is when Zen Master Sung San said, if you are thinking, you and I are separate. If you cut off all of your thinking, then you and I are never separate. That's the meaning of guest and host disappear.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, next question, anonymous. Maybe Zen Master Daquan can answer this because it asks, should becoming a Zen master be everyone's goal? Would you like to answer that? I guess you already answered that if you saw it. If you missed it, then watch the recording of this video. Let's see. This will go to, this is about Dharma combats. This will go back to Lurch Judapupsanim. This is from Tyler. there's a certain machismo associated with the term Dharma combat. If Dharma dialogue describes the intent more accurately, why not change the name? Isn't Zen, and particularly Kongan's, about being meticulous?
You can change the name if you like. Originally, the name has, like Zen Master De Kwang said, the original words were already a mistake. So we can, in the Quantum School of Zen, it's very interesting. We accept many different kinds of forms, different names that we received from our ancestors. And then sometimes, especially in America, we have these meetings. Oh, well, maybe we should change this. Maybe we should change that. And my teacher, who's here with us today, had a very wonderful response to that. And I will share that with you. He even claimed it was his highest teaching. When a discussion of this quality starts coming up, he says, meaning, don't attach to names. If you attach to names, you already attach to winning and losing, and you already missed the point. So Dharma combat is not Dharma combat. Zen dialogue or Dharma dialogue is not Dharma dialogue. But when you put it all down, when you really show up, and when you really engage, that's before name and form. That's before thinking. It's been said already many times today. So you can change the name if you like. But be careful if you like.
All right. So next question. Let's see. So maybe this will go to Chenwan Senim, Judapopsa. Why did Zen Master Guji classify meditation into 5 kinds? So maybe the question is, why classify these meditations into 5 different kinds?
For you. Sometimes someone come to join my meditation class, and if their purpose is to have a good health, then I will encourage them to go to find a good doctor, and or you go to learn Qigong, then to have a good health. But if you spend a time to practice Zen, then your body health also will improve naturally, because you get the mental health already, yeah? So your body and your mental can balance. So this is very important to understand these 5 types of meditation. Then you will know which one you can choose. So just now say the directions of practice meditation is very important. So you must know what is your direction. Okay.
Thank you, Senim. This question is for Zen Master De Kwang. It's from Hugh. It's a kind of 2-part question. I've heard that people can have significant insight into their nature, Kensho, while working on Kongans, but still do immoral acts because they still have mental impurities from their past karma. Is this true? And also, do you recommend chanting as one way to purify our minds?
Well, first of all, you don't have a mind, so how are you going to purify it? So there's many kinds of techniques, but they aren't there to take away anything. They're about letting go. So this letting go is what happened with the Buddha. He let go of everything, and then there's this part that we call like truth enlightenment, right? So anytime you just let go, you're not attaching to any word, this, that, or anything, then you just have a direct experience. So if you want to fix your mind with chanting, That's not the true purpose of chanting. Like my teacher, Zen Master, enlightenment by chanting for 18 hours a day for 100 days straight. But it isn't to chant to get something, it's to chant to let go of something. So you aren't chanting to have a result, you're chanting to let go in this moment and wake up. So this chanting, of course, can work. There's thousands and thousands of meditation techniques, but behind they're all the same thing. They're just a technique to allow you to wake up just now. So that waking up just now is about letting go. So the chanting allows you to let go of your thinking. It's not about taking your thinking away or destroying your thinking, or you won't think bad things anymore or do bad things anymore. It's about not being attached to it. So Zen Master Sun Sun always said, use your bad karma and your good karma to help all beings. So it's not about taking away anything, it's about letting go of something. So if you're skillful and you've actually let go, you can use your bad karma to help people. You can also use your good karma to help people. You can use your Christian karma, your Buddhist karma, your Hindu karma, your Taoist karma, your working on your own karma, your husband, wife, pet karma to help the world if you're not attached to it. So that's the idea behind the sixth patriarch waking up. That's the basic point of the Diamond Sutra. That's the basic point of life. If you're not attached, then it's possible to realize your true direction, which is helping people rather than exploiting them for your own gain. It's not about taking away thinking. It's about letting go of thinking.
Thank you. This question is for Lurch Pupsidi, Dohwa, I believe Dohwa City, perhaps. I heard that you are very busy with your musical profession. May I ask you how you address your work, teaching, and Zen practice amidst your busy life?
Well, thank you for your question. I believe that there isn't something called my practicing life or my musical life or any of the other kinds of life. As De Kwang Sanim mentioned many times in his talk, we don't get that life. We never get my musical life. We never get my busy life. But yet, moment to moment, we get everything. If we, and I know I watch myself do this, but if I divide myself up into all these different segments, then I'm already lost. I'm already looking for something which is ultimately right in front of me. So for me, in this, with regard to this question of busy or not busy, music or Zen, I don't do it. I don't make that distinction. I just play music when it's time to play music. I just drive the car when it's time to drive the car. When it's time to sit, I sit. When it's time to talk, I talk. We try that. Anyway, we try that. Thank you.
Okay, next question for Chunwen Sinim. I read once that Theravadan practitioners also attained the Zen mind. Is it just they use different words to describe it? Please comment on this. Thanks.
Yeah, this I want to know which Theravada style you are follow. Because now in Theravada there are many styles also. So I don't know which one you means the Theravada style. So I cannot give you the answer whether they also is like the Zen mind. If everybody return to this moment and no opposite thinking, everyone can become Zen mind. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, next question here for Zen Master Day Kwang. In the Heart Sutra, it says, far apart from every perverted view, one dwells in nirvana. So what does this teaching mean?
Yeah, so far apart from every perverted view means to let go just now, right? You let go of your thinking. That's the Kongan's job. That's the Buddha's teaching job. That's our job in our life, moment to moment to moment, to let go and become one. So Zen means become one with this moment. Usually we're not in this moment because we're attached to our thinking about it, right? So that's what this teaching means. It just means to let go, let go, let go. So all of Buddha's teaching is in that Diamond Sutra thing, which we already talked about. When thinking arises in your mind, don't attach to it. And that's it. I know it's too simple, and saying this over and over again gets kind of boring. Sometimes it has to be repeated. One time, a student raised his hand during a talk and said, Zen Master so-and-so, I've heard you give many, many, many talks, and you're always saying the same thing. Right? And then he answered back, yeah, that's because nobody's listening. So that's the repetition technique. So don't attach to the repetition technique. Zen teachers are always repeating themselves. And if you chant the sutras, of course, you're chanting the same thing over and over and over again. The question is, did you get it or did you not get it? Of course, there's no you to get it or not get it. So that's formless emptiness, emptiness is form. So hiding inside of all these different teachings, even in different religions, whether it's Theravadan or Zen or Mahayana Buddhism or Pure Land Buddhism or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. The behind meaning is always the same. And if people attach to the words, they'll never see that behind meaning. So it isn't the religion's fault that nobody got it. It's because nobody's actually letting go so they can actually see what is being said here. So yeah, there's different styles, that's for sure. And people will attach to these styles, that's for sure. But it's not about that. So one way to think about all the different religions is they're just talking about exactly the same thing. Right? If you just let go of what they're actually saying and how it's conceptualized, at that moment you will actually attain what religion is actually teaching about, which in Buddhism means wake up and return to your true self. So that's what that line out of the Heart Sutra is talking about.
Thank you. For Lurch Popsanim is from Susie, who you know actually. How do we develop a receptive mind?
Susie, I heard your question. Developing a receptive mind, I think, is already a mistake. Because how do I develop a receptive mind has a lot of garbage in it. I don't mean to make fun of your question. I need to point out, though, that if I sit down with you and I have in my mind, okay, I'm going to be really receptive now so that I can really meet with Susie. It's a one-man show or a one-woman show. It's only when I let go of that whole idea of receptivity and mind that something of clarity can transpire. So in some ways, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I do that? And always this question has got a problem because it's a question about this I, which we don't understand. So if we can, every moment, every situation, every exchange, every encounter, with a mind which is resonating with this question, what am I? Then we're liable to be able to be receptive in that moment. If we're clouded with all kinds of ideas about ourselves and about the other person, then we never meet them. We never meet them. In the Diamond Sutra, it says, when you see all appearances as non-appearances. And this means when I let go of my idea about you, when I completely let go about my idea about you, then I might see you. When I completely let go about my idea about myself, then we might see each other. But it doesn't take a formula. It really doesn't take a formula. In the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha did this revolutionary thing. He got up from his seat, he went into the village, begged for his food, and when he had received the food, he went back to his seat, he sat down, he arranged his robes, and ate his food. When he was done eating, he cleaned his bowls, put them away, and saw what was in front of him. And Subhuti said, well, how did you do that? How do we do that? It's very interesting. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, thank you. Next question, Chunwin Sanim. In Buddhism, we have this teaching about the emptiness of the 5 skandhas. At the same time, though, we hear about the teaching of true nature that is, quote, it's always with us, which sounds to me like form of self. So how to understand this two teaching is not contradicting each other?
Now I need a translation from my translator. Okay, thank you, Xiao San. Actually, 这个他问的人他就误会了真如本性的意思。
Chunwin's name said the person who asked this question misunderstands about something that is always there. That thing, he misunderstands that.
The true nature.
True nature.
True nature is nothing. So like you say, 5 skandha is empty. So it's the same. All are emptiness. Don't think the true nature has something that is wrong thinking. Okay. So Buddha said everything is emptiness. Even 5 skandhas are emptiness. Even our true nature also emptiness. So when we return to this empty mind, then we can perceive clearly, we can see clearly, hear clearly, smell clearly, taste clear, touch clear, that everything is clear, then we can have a correct function in our daily life. So there is nothing conflict and nothing is not opposite, okay? So thank you.
Thank you, Sanim. We only have a few more minutes left, so we're trying to get through these questions. Obviously, we can't get through all of them. You can reach out to the online Sangha, though, if you'd like to get, if there's a burning question you want to get answered. Zen Master De Kwang, this is a question from Kwan Heng Sanim. So very nice talks, thank you. Could you explain how is it that there's 2 different answers? So I'm believing this is about kongans. 2 different answers from 2 different teachers to the same questions.
Why is that?
Yeah, right. I guess, you know, like you answer maybe a kongan with one teacher, but then you work with another one. They said, no, that's not correct. There's a different one.
That's because both of those teachers are stupid. So Zen means become completely stupid. Don't attach to the kongan, don't attach to the answer. If you're attached to that teacher's answer, that's not true stupid. That's suffering. So when the answer appears, just let go and perceive the answer. It's not good or bad. That answer is given to you at that time to teach you something. So become one. If it's a bad answer, right away you perceive, well, that doesn't work. Or if it's a good answer, you perceive right away, at least your true self perceives that that's a bad answer or a good answer. So don't attach to the teacher's answer. Kongans are not about pleasing a teacher with a good answer. Already that has so many opposites and garbage in it that you could never sort it out in 1,500 lifetimes. So don't attach to the Kongan. You know, that's one of the big Zen diseases is people attach to Zen teaching. They also attach to the Kongan as a technique. Do not attach to it. Then you return to your true self, which Chungman Fasher said, of course, doesn't exist. Good, you're free. So don't worry, be happy, as Sai Baba always said.
Thank you. So we have, let's see, 3 minutes left. So maybe Lurch Pope Sinim can help us with this next question from Benji. The discussion has talked about Kongan on the individual level. How do we use Kongan practice as together action to address things like racism and environmental crisis, etc.?
Thank you, Benji. That's really where the rubber meets the road, actually. It's fine to sit on the cushion with a great posture and have beautiful breathing. That's not good or bad. It's wonderful to go in and see a teacher and have a Kongan interview and respond in a way that the teacher approves. It's even more important to see through all of those things as pointing to your moment-to-moment life. And our moment-to-moment life is what I call the 13th gate. In the Quantum School of Zen, we have 12 gates through which, as students, we would pass through. And in all of those gates, there's a Zen master or a Zen teacher sitting across from us who can verify, oh, wonderful, you've passed. Which, as De Kwang Sanim just said, is also bullshit. But the 13th gate is the most profound and wonderful gate because all of the other 12 gates are pointing to this, which is your life moment to moment. And your life moment to moment has no benevolent teacher sitting across from you to verify whether you got it right or not. All we have is each other. All we have is our own mega Sangha, the Sangha of all beings. And if we can then bring our practicing mind to our life moment to moment, then we have a chance of letting go of our prejudice and being supportive of people who are being persecuted or pressed down, or finding our way to be an advocate for those who are less fortunate than us. All of these things come out of your own experience in your own life. And it's your business, it's your job to find a way to be a helpful person in your life, to actually attain the true meaning of all of this. We're sitting here talking yap, 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 yap. It all just means moment to moment to moment. Find your compassionate nature. Care for other people. Take care of yourself and take care of this world and take care of other people. Without that, all of this business of sitting on a cushion is useless. But there's no answer in the Quantum School of Zen so you can say, okay, I checked that box. There's no teacher sitting across from you to say, yes, that's a correct action. None of that is going to happen. You must find it in your own life, in your own way, in an authentic and truthful, compassionate way. That's what we all have to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Pope Sanim. Thank you to everybody for your questions. Thank you to our teachers who did their best to answer the questions today. If you do have a question, you can reach out to the Quantum Online Sangha if you have something that needs to be addressed. Now, Zen Master De Kwang will lead us with the 4 great vows.
Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to say them all. Delusions are endless. We vow to cut through them all. The teachings are infinite. We vow to learn them all. The Buddha way is inconceivable. We vow to attain it.